This video walkthrough provides instructions on how to complete the task of validating and approving the assessment classifications collected by the AQP unit survey. Information about units and course curriculum is currently held in Student 1. This information has been approved through the course approval process and is considered to be the validated source of truth. All existing unit information will be migrated into the new curriculum management system known as ACARI. This new system will become the source of truth. The classification of assessment tasks for each unit, collected via the AQP survey, has not been validated or approved. In addition, there may be some instances where the classification determined for an assessment task is not correct. The purpose of the current exercise is to review the classifications, make any necessary corrections, and approve the classifications prior to these being added to the information imported into ACARI. In order to view the unit details and the columns shown for an assessment, this task is best completed on a desktop computer or a laptop connected to a larger monitor. Each school has been provided with an Excel spreadsheet containing the details for units delivered in H2 2015 and H1 2016. Let's start with an overview of the setup of the spreadsheet. The screen has been split to fix the column headings and the name and the UDC for each unit. This allows you to scroll horizontally to view each assessment and vertically to view each unit. The columns associated with each assessment are color-coded. The first column shows the name of the assessment task. The next three columns show the classification, broken up by the three classification levels. The last column is titled Approved. If a unit had submitted the AQP survey, then the classification columns will be pre-populated with the assessment classification as determined through the questions in the survey. If the unit was excluded or a survey response was not submitted, then the assessment classification will be blank. If a unit was surveyed in both 2015 H2 and 2016 H1, the name of the assessment and the classifications from the 2016 H1 survey have been retained. We have set up the spreadsheet for a particular workflow that we believe will be most efficient to complete the task of validating the assessment classifications. The workflow has two phases. The first phase is to validate and approve assessment classifications that do not require further investigation. All other assessments are flagged for follow-up. The second phase is to enter or correct the assessment classification for assessments flagged in the first phase. The first step is to screen each assessment task and flag it as confirmed or flag it for follow-up. Many of the assessment classifications can easily be validated and approved from the assessment name alone, or possibly from your knowledge of the unit. For an assessment where you are comfortable with the assessment classification shown, select Confirmed from the pull-down menu in the Approved column. Otherwise, select Follow-up. Scrolling vertically down, visually inspect all of the Assessment 1 task names and classifications. Repeat the process for Assessments 2 to 4. An alternative approach would be to scroll horizontally to visually inspect all assessments in a unit and work through the spreadsheet unit by unit. Once you have screened all assessments in each unit, you can move to Phase 2. To begin Phase 2, scroll to the far right, and from the For Follow-up column, click on the filter icon and set the filter to include all units that require follow-up. To change the classification, clear all of the classification levels. Begin at the AQP top level and choose a classification from the pull-down menu. This will automatically limit the selection in the menu for the AQP second level classification. Make a selection from the options shown. Continue until there is a selection in each of the three levels of classification. For units that do not have a classification, begin at the AQP top level and choose a classification from the pull-down menu. Continue until you have selections for each of the three levels of classification. Once you have changed or added a classification and you are comfortable with the new classification, change the selection in the Approved column to Confirmed. Repeat the steps in Phase 2 until all units are listed as confirmed in the For Follow-up column. You can refilter as many times as you need to progressively reduce the list, and just focus on the units that require follow-up. If you're not able to select an option from the pull-down menu, the solution is to check that all of the classification columns to the right for that task are blank. So remember to delete the cell values for all classification levels before making corrections.